Hi, I'm Barbara, a 29-year-old interior designer from Chicago. Trust me, this story will show you that family isn't always what it seems. Honey, I think those modern pendant lights you picked would look perfect here, James says, watching me arrange furniture in our latest project, a luxury penthouse. That's my fiancé, always cheering me on. You're just saying that because you want to sell this place faster, I tease, though inside, I'm glowing. We're a dream team. He develops properties, I design them. Then my phone buzzes. Mom. Barbara, don't forget your brother's promotion party tonight. Don't be late like last time. I had a client meeting, Mom. Some of us actually work for what we achieve. Don't start with that attitude, she snaps. Tyler worked hard to become VP at your father's company. Hard work? Sure, like the time in high school when he took credit for my art project and won first place. Or when he convinced Dad not to fund my first design studio. But Tyler's always been the golden child. Later at the party, I'm showing Sarah, Tyler's wife, my wedding dress sketches. I'm having the family diamonds sewn into the neckline. Mom finally agreed. That's wonderful, Sarah says, her smile tight as her eyes flicked to my engagement ring. Baby sis. Tyler slurs, stumbling over, whiskey heavy on his breath. Still playing with your little decoration business. It's called interior design, Tyler. And for your information, I just landed the Peterson contract. Dad cuts in, frowning. The Peterson contract? I was going to refer them to Thompson Designs. I got it on my own, Dad. Not everything has to come through you. Tyler sneers. Speaking of connections, I need to borrow some cash. Just temporary. Again? Sarah hisses, gripping her drink. We talked about this. Later, I catch Tyler on the phone in the garden. I'll get your money. Just give me more time. Back at the bar, James slides up beside me. Your mom's asking about wedding plans. She seems intense. Wait till you see the dress. Vintage Vera Wang, modernized with the family diamonds. Mom nearly fainted when I suggested it. I laugh. James chuckles. As long as you're happy, though your brother seemed very interested in those diamonds. Tyler's always interested in anything valuable that isn't his, I say, watching him across the room. Charming investors while Sarah clutches her drink alone. That's my family, picture perfect on the outside, rotting on the inside. But soon, I'll have my own family with James, my own life. If only I'd known what was coming. The morning of my wedding week, the estate was buzzing with family and guests. It should have been exciting. Instead, I woke to my worst nightmare. No, 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 my scream echoed down the hall. There it was, my wedding dress. Shredded. Drenched in what looked like red wine. The family diamonds. Gone. What's going on? Mom rushed in, still in her robe. She froze, her gasp sharp and calculating. Barbara, what have you done? What have I done? This is my wedding dress. Why would I destroy it? She crossed her arms. The insurance policy you insisted on last week. That was your idea. You said I needed coverage for the diamonds. James burst into the room, followed by Tyler and Sarah. Babe, what happened? Someone destroyed my dress and stole the diamonds. I checked the security footage, Tyler announced. It's gone. Strange timing, huh, sis? What are you implying? I demanded. Tyler smirked, pulling out his phone. You've been researching insurance fraud. He held up screenshots of my supposed browser history. That's impossible. I didn't. And then there's this. He hit play on a recording. My own voice echoed in the room. The diamonds alone are worth enough to start over. It was from a conversation with Madison about starting my own firm. I protested, blaring at Tyler. Completely out of context. James stepped back, his face clouded with doubt. Barbara, just tell me the truth. You can't seriously believe this, I snapped. I'm being set up. Dad stormed into the room, his voice thunderous. The police are on their way. This is criminal, Barbara. I stared at him in disbelief. You called the police on me? Alina, our housekeeper, hovered by the door, wringing her hands. Miss Barbara was in her room all night. I brought her tea at midnight. Stay out of this, Elena, Mom snapped, her tone icy. Shaking, I held Madison. They're all against me, I sobbed. Even James is believing them. Girl, something's not right, Madison replied sharply. Tyler was acting weird at the rehearsal dinner. Stay put, I'm coming. The police arrived soon after, taking statements as I sat helplessly. The detective gave me a skeptical look. Miss, your family's evidence is quite compelling. Evidence they fabricated, I muttered, but it felt like no one was listening. Later, Sarah approached me with fake sympathy dripping from her voice. Maybe if you confess, they'll go easier on you. I fixed her with a cold stare. I think you know exactly what happened, Sarah. She flinched, just slightly, before walking away. By the time James found me packing my bags, I was done. The wedding's off, isn't it? I said, not bothering to look at him. Barbara, he hesitated. They're your family. Why would they lie? Because they've been doing it my whole life, and you never wanted to see it, I said, my voice breaking. Madison burst in like a hurricane, her presence a lifeline. I'm getting you out of here. Something stinks, and it's not just your brother's cheap cologne. As I left, Mom's voice followed me. If you walk away now, don't bother coming back. Don't worry, Mother. I won't. Elena slipped me a folded note as I passed. I saw something last night. Call me. Dad's voice was the last thing I heard before the door closed. You're making a big mistake, young lady. We can still fix this if you admit what you did. Madison's dining table was covered in papers, bank statements, transaction logs, and screenshots. Living with her this past week had been my saving grace. Tyler's been moving money around like a shell-game artist, Madison said, pushing a statement toward me. My hands trembled as I scanned the documents. These withdrawals, they're always right before his business trips. And these deposits, Lucky Star Gaming, Royal Flush Casino. My phone buzzed. It was Elena. Miss Barbara, she whispered, her voice shaky. I need to tell you something. Last night wasn't the first time. What do you mean? I asked, gripping the phone tightly. Mr. Tyler, he's been having these calls late at night in the garden. Last week, I heard him begging someone for more time. They said something about breaking legs. He was crying. Did you tell my parents? They don't listen to the help, miss. But there's more. The night your dress was destroyed, I heard him again. He said, it's done. You'll get your payment tomorrow. Madison's eyes widened. Barbara, look at this. She pointed at more records. Tyler's been visiting First Choice Pawn every Tuesday for the past month. The family diamonds. And this deposit, I said, my heart sinking. It's massive, and it's the day after my dress was destroyed. My phone dinged with a text from Sarah. We need to talk. Tyler's acting strange. Don't respond, Madison warned. It could be another setup. Before I could decide, Tyler's name flashed on my screen. Against my better judgment, I answered, putting it on speaker. Madison hit record. You need to back off, Tyler hissed. Or what? I shot back. Going to destroy another dress. Listen here, he snarled. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Keep digging, and things will get a lot worse than a ruined wedding. Are the loan sharks squeezing you that hard, brother dear? His breath caught. You don't know anything. Of what I do, I said, my voice dripping with contempt. First Choice Pawn. The casinos. The late-night calls. If you don't shut your mouth, Tyler, your little empire will crumble. Accidents happen, sis, he growled. Consider this your only warning. The line went dead, and Madison was already gathering the evidence. That's it. We're taking this to your parents. Now. Back at my parents' house, it was the same old story. These bank statements are clearly forged, Dad dismissed, barely glancing at the evidence Madison had uncovered. She could have faked them at her job. I played the recording of Tyler's threats, my voice trembling with frustration. Mom actually laughed. You've always been jealous of your brother's success, she said with a smug smile. This is a new low, even for you. He threatened me. I protested. Dad folded his arms. He's under stress, thanks to your baseless accusations. If you drop this nonsense now, we might still salvage this family's reputation. Your reputation? I snapped. What about my life? He's trying to ruin me. You ruined your own life with this insurance scam, Mom shot back. Tyler would never gamble away his future. As if on cue, Tyler strolled in, his corporate mask firmly in place. Still spreading lies, sis. I didn't respond. Instead, I turned my phone toward him, hitting play on the casino security footage Madison had dug up. His face went white. Get out of my house, Dad thundered, pointing to the door, and take your forged evidence with you. As I walked out, Tyler's phone rang. He hesitated before answering. "Mr. Chang, please," he whispered, his voice cracking. "I just need one more day." I smiled. The walls were closing in on my dear brother, whether my parents wanted to see it or not. 6 months later, I stood in what would soon be Chicago's hottest new restaurant, surveying the exposed brick walls and industrial accents. "This detail is exactly what this space needed," I told my newest client. My phone buzzed. "David, still on for dinner? I've got some interesting news about your family's company." Dating a district attorney has its perks, especially one who understands toxic family dynamics. Madison's matchmaking skills, as always, were spot on. "3 guys in leather jackets showed up at your dad's office today," David told me over dinner. "Security had to escort them out. They were shouting about Tyler's debts." The next morning, the Chicago Tribune headline read, "Harrison family business under investigation for massive fraud." Madison's bank had uncovered years of embezzlement. Later that day, Elena called. "Miss Barbara, remember the backup system Mr. Harrison had installed last year? I saved all the footage. The police have Tyler on camera destroying your dress." My phone rang again. "Mom, decline." Then Dad, decline. A text from Tyler. "Please, I need help. They're going to arrest me." By evening, every channel was covering the story. Prominent Chicago family in shambles. VP son faces criminal charges. I sat in my new office, thinking about the scared girl who once begged for her family's approval. She's gone now. My first mentee arrived, a young designer with big dreams. As I shared my story, teaching her to recognize red flags and value herself, I realized something profound. Sometimes, losing everything is life's way of showing you what you never needed in the first place. And now, I have a question for you. What would you do if your entire family united against you and the person you were about to marry started doubting you? Would you fight to prove your innocence like I did? Or would you walk away and start fresh without looking back? Let me know in the comments below. Your support means everything to this channel. If you'd like to hear more stories about overcoming toxic family dynamics and emerging stronger, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I read every comment and can't wait to hear your thoughts. Where do you draw the line between forgiveness and self-preservation? Would you give your parents a second chance after everything fell apart? Let's talk about it.